Hey everybody, this is Minion Soldier, and this is Ship Update once again. Now, we actually do have an update and a kind of update. Now, the first one being that the Vanduul Void Bomber has completed its gray box workup and hopefully white boxed into texturing. It's going to be a ship that's going to appear in Squadron 42, hopefully in the PU in the not too distant future, but there it is, the Vanduul Void Bomber. Guess that's the rear view, those are the engines. And additionally, someone did get Disco Lando to admit that there will be ships at Gamescom, so something to look forward to there. But apart from that, it was looking like it was not going to be all that interesting of an episode once again, unfortunately. And then, well, turns out it's actually going to be quite an interesting episode, because you will not believe what happened. Basically, for the last few days and for the next few days into next week, I'm making a whole bunch of content for you guys because I'm going on vacation for 2 weeks. I'm going to attend a wedding, spend time with family, and check out some job opportunities out on the West Coast. And while I'm doing that, of course, I'm not going to be able to see Gamescom, or I will, but, not from home and not in front of my PC where I can then go and make videos. So I was building up a library of content for you guys while I was away. And I had begun to now upload that content and schedule it for later release. And then one of my videos, oddly enough, got dinged as inappropriate content by YouTube. And I thought, what? So one of the videos that I was uploading for you guys is, of course, a brief look at the Caterpillar. That's, I believe, going to come up next week, right before I leave on vacation. And in that episode, I kind of make some references to history and, the fact that commercial ships were refitted for use as pirate ships and privateers back in the golden age of piracy. And I kind of watched the episode again. I went, what is inappropriate about this episode? There's nothing wrong here. And so I kind of went and I looked and I said, okay, so I must have done something. So of course I went through YouTube's list of what could be inappropriate, and well, there's nothing specifically mentioned. Your video might have violence, your video might have some kind of coarse language in it, your video might deal with an extreme topic, or it might be extremist in nature, or it might deal with topics of violence or war or any, topics of things that actually happen on a daily basis. And therefore, your video is completely inappropriate and cannot have advertisements shown on it, or it can, but you just can't make any money off of it. So I thought, well, that's interesting. That's an interesting take on things. And so I went and said, okay, well, let me start the appeals process on this. I've been dinged for things before, and I said, okay, well, let's just start the appeals process. Usually takes about 4 hours. Oh, no. You see, in order for a video to qualify to be reviewed by YouTube, it has to at least have gotten 1,000 views in the last 7 days. So let's say this episode of Ship Updates, which will probably get dinged as well, who knows, gets flagged, then I have to get 1,000 views on that video within 7 days, and then I'm allowed to begin the appeals process, which might take up to 4 or 5 days to get resolved. So in other words, by the time I can even make any money off of the episode has already basically had its run, and it is now old content that probably isn't going to get many views or much visits. Now, many of you know that revenue is not a driving factor behind this channel. And in the recent past, I have made moves to exclude myself from making revenue because I felt that at the time, for a certain video, it was probably not the right thing to do. Now, after I'd made the video where I talked about the Prowler and, you know, what went on with that ship, that video got a lot of views, and, you know, I got a little chunk of money. It's nothing shocking, but I got a little chunk of money off of that video, but it made me uncomfortable because that was a video where I was being highly critical, and it almost felt like I was being rewarded for just being critical of something, and I didn't want it to be what that video was about. I wanted the video to be about the problem with the ship and not about me trying to make money off of the problem with the ship, if you understand what I'm saying. So I kind of, you know, took on an internal policy of when I would, if I had to make a video like that again in the future, I would deliberately not monetize that video, so I could never be looked at as being someone who's trying to profit off of controversy. Now, fast forward some months later, and of course, the Banu Defender was released. And I had some issues with that ship, and so now I was once again in that position. And I knew that that video was going to generate some likes, it was going to generate some dislikes, it was going to generate a lot of views, but it was a thing that I felt that had to be said, but I didn't want people to think that I was just saying it to make some money. So I never actually monetized that video. I never made 1 red cent off of that video. I just gave my opinion as honestly as I could in regards to that ship and the obvious issues that it had. And I didn't do it to make $1. I did it because I felt that these were things that needed to be said and these were things that needed to be done. I just feel that it's important for people to realize that when I'm giving my opinion, I'm giving it honestly as I see it at that time. Now, I might change my mind later on given new information, but it is, you know, at the moment, I'm looking at this thing. This is what I see. These are the likes. These are the dislikes. That's my opinion. That's kind of why I do these videos. And I'm always open to changing my opinion with new information. Trust me, I've gone back and I've looked at the Vanguard Warden so many times. I've been trying for ages to find the diamond in that lump of coal, and I don't think that it's there. The craziest part about this is no one really knows what triggers it. It's assumed to be an algorithm and it must be going off of keywords. So you might say piracy, demonetized. Wolfpack tactics, oh, that's a Nazi reference, demonetized. Nobody really knows. It's, you know, it's just that simple. No one knows what triggers this. So, I mean, if you're somebody else who's deciding to start up a YouTube channel, you don't know. You could sit there and you could be saying, oh, you know, I was shooting down a pirate in this system and his ship blew up. You might get demonetized for that. You might get demonetized because you're running around with a gun defending yourself in a space station in a video game. Like, you will get, like, not really censored, but more censured for that activity because it's not appropriate for all viewers, and it's like, it's so ridiculous. Now, like I've said before, revenue was never the aim of this channel and never really the goal. It was kind of just the icing on the cake. I mean, if I made a video for you guys and then I ended up walking away with enough cash for, you know, a Coke and a cheeseburger, then I was like, hey, square deal. In the end, all I was ever really going to use this money for was to put final upgrades in my PC once Star Citizen had reached, you know, that point where it was now considered live. You know, when we crossed that bridge in the closed beta, I was going to kind of deck out a really good PC so I could then do some real content, hopefully some 4K content, things like that. But that was off in the future, and I wasn't making a lot of money, but I was kind of making enough where I figured I would hit that goal when Star Citizen got to that point. Of course, the when is kind of an open date, but I figured I had some time. But now, I don't know what triggers this. I don't know what sets this off. So if I make an episode of the Piracy Show, I might just get dinged by the title. I might talk about firearms and I might get dinged. You know, I literally do not know what triggers this. It must be certain keywords or certain combinations of keywords. I would like to know what they are. You know, I don't want to make a channel where heretofore we refer to piracy as potato. So if I want to get together with all my fellow potatoes and we want to go potato somebody, then, you know, we have to face the fact that we're now going to be labeled within the game as potatoes. I mean, do I really want to do that with the channel? No, but, you know, it kind of puts me in a bit of a tough spot. So I'm bowing to a previous request that some people have made. They were looking for a Patreon link to donate to this channel. So if you look at the main banner for my channel, you'll see a Patreon link there. All I ask is keep it to a very, like, a pittance. Don't go nuts. Don't go over the, you know, don't go overboard, because obviously a lot of people out there are getting dinged with this, and there might be channels out there that need more support than mine does. So, you know, keep that in mind. There's obviously going to be content out there that you enjoy more than mine, and they might need your support much more than I do. But if you want to, the link is there, and it's much appreciated. Anyways, enough of that. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode, and thanks for watching.
Quantum travel initiated.